It's Wednesday, hump day. It's a blazing hot day. Hi everybody, welcome to the Cherry Blossom Studios. It's day number 10 of 100 Days of Tai Chi. That means we're 10% through the whole form. That's pretty awesome. Well, anyway, today I've got another movement in the series of 3 brush, knee, and twist steps, and viewer questions. So we're going to talk about all of that, and that's coming up right after this. Before we get started with the lesson today, I want to talk a little bit about the layering method that I keep talking about the way that I teach. The layering method means that when doing something as complex as learning Tai Chi, there are so many details that you could get into. And one of the biggest mistakes that teachers often make is trying to give you all those details. Because when we watch somebody learning Tai Chi, we can pick out a million different things that could be better. My teacher used to do this to me. In fact, all my teachers have pretty much done this. Picking apart all the things that could be corrected here, corrected there, etc. The problem is that that's not really the way that adult learners learn things. It very much works for kids. Kids sort of learn it as a big gestalt. It's like you show them something once and then they've got it. In fact, something that was always a crack up to me is when some students of mine would bring their kids to the classes at the park, and the parents who'd been working on a particular move for weeks, were still like trying to figure it all out. The kids would just watch it one time and then they'd go off and they would do it once and then they'd be bored because they'd already mastered it. But for adults learn things in sections, a layer at a time. We start with something basic like the footwork. So every movement, everything that we're going to learn here has a lower body component, stances, footwork, foot positions, foot movement, foot meaning legs and feet, etc. Right? Then we have obviously the hands. The hands and arms are creating different shapes, moving through space, often are the part of the body theoretically connecting with an opponent, right? So as a martial art, how do I reach out to grab, push, pull, yield, deflect, etc., etc. And that's done up here. And then we have to have a piece that connects these arms and hands with the legs and feet. And that's the body, the torso, which we can generally divide into 3 pieces. We've got the upper body here from the ribs on up into the shoulders. We've got the middle of the body, which we're going to generally refer to as the waist. Although there's more to it than that, that's another lesson. And then we have the hips. The hips, which are a region of the body, a bony structure known as the pelvis, which moves around, and the hip joint. And boy, oh boy, is there a lot to understand about this hip joint. It's got a whole range of lessons in there in Tai Chi all by itself. We're going to get into that in the future. But all these different parts of the torso connects the hands and arms with the legs and feet. So we've just got 3 really pretty big layers right there. And for most of the beginning lessons, I'm just going to stick with those 3 layers. Oh, one more thing, and that's the head and neck and eyes. Like, where do they go? Well, we talked about that a little bit in yesterday's lesson, where the eyes go. And trust me, I'm going to bring some more back about the head and neck. But my point was that we really have these 3 main layers, or 3 main pieces for every movement. And that's where I want to begin every lesson, and then we can talk later about some of these extra details. Does that make sense? All right. Today in this lesson, we have another brush, knee, and twist step movement. It's actually a part of a continuing series that we're learning about, starting with play the pipa, and then we have brush, knee, and twist on the right, brush, knee, and twist on the left, brush, knee, and twist on the right again. It's a series of 3 movements. We'll count them each as one at a time, but they are definitely part of a series. Watch me one time from the beginning of that series, and then we'll do today's brush knee. So here I am at the end of Shohei Pipa, hands from the Pipa. ran out of room a little bit there at the end, but that's 3 steps. All right, today we're just going to do 1. So we're actually starting, by the way, I was going to ask you how this went yesterday. Yesterday in the lesson, I said that many people had been asking me to demonstrate the movements in mirror view, which means that if I want to show you the left foot forward, I'm actually going to step like this so that you can see. How'd that work for you? I'd just like to know. So if you could leave some comments to see, was that helpful? So if this is supposed to be left foot forward, right hand forward, I'm going to show it to you like this. Right? Yesterday we did this movement where I get the camera there. I did my transition here into the second brush knee step. And today we'll do a third one. Let me step back here a little bit so that again, you can see the third move. Beautiful. All right. You wanted me to show you that from the back? All right, here we go. Here is where we want. This is where we wound up yesterday. So we did another one. Here is the next movement. Turn. Fold in. Finish. I hope that made sense. All right, let's talk a little bit about the transition. So we're starting off with the right foot forward, left hand pushing. And to get into our third step, again, we unweight this front foot just enough so that it can pivot. Foot movement. That's a leg movement, but it is driven by the torso, right? I said the torso is a connecting piece. So from here, when I unweight this foot, my torso turns. My waist, what we're going to call the waist, rotates to the left, and that drags the foot into this 45 degrees. Just focusing on the footwork. After I do that, then this left foot will step forward, and remember it has to accomplish a sideways opening here to make a channel. And then the center of gravity shifts forward and I create a bow step, a lunge, pulling in here, twisting to close off that waist twisted step. All right, here's what the hands do. The hands are going to come from the pushing position. The long arm here folds across the chest. The down hand here arcs upward and to the side. Two go together by both hands reaching the fingers towards the side. Bottom hand is long arm is palm up, short arm is palm down. Then the long arm bends the elbow, dropping the elbow down. The short arm skims out and across the knee and back to the hip. While now this bent elbow pushes forward. Again, this action here is driven by the turning of the waist. So all those pieces happen in coordination with the waist turn. So as I turn, right, which is what's going to turn that toe up, as I turn there, that's what takes the arms out to the side. They fold in and begin to reach. Now as I shift forward, there's another turn here at the waist where it comes back to the center and then twists into the hip here to finish off that position. Right? So it's body, 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 moving the hands, moving the feet. You can see that even with just 3 layers, there's so much. So that's why we try not to go into too much detail until later. Right? So once again, here I am. This is supposed to be my right foot forward, left hand pushing. I unweight, turn my waist towards the right. Everything goes over to the right. Fold in the elbow, stepping, reaching out, pushing, finishing. brush knee and a twisted step back there. Beautiful. Here's what it looks like one more time from the back. If we, or from the side, if you have been doing this with me from the open the door position, we would be in this position. There's one, there's two. Lose my place this way. All right, last step, same as the first.